So you're trying to learn about the maps in Mecha Break, and with the most recent update, they actually added in during the load screens that it would pop up on the bottom left side of the screen on what type of scenario you're going to be dealing with on the map. Obviously, if you know the map name, you know what you're going to be dealing with, which I explained in this video. But prior to me actually making this, when I did it on stream, that wasn't actually known into the game. So it was just with the update that they added that. So with that said and done, here it is from the stream. And so I'm going to go over all the maps. Granted, in the new patch update, there is going to be a feature inside of the game already where it tells you what should be in the map that you're getting ready to go into. It should explain what the map is and the mission objective before you select your mech. But I'm still going to go over it anyways, just because of the fact that, hey, I can get this out before the update happens. So I am a star. This is a collect keys and then upload them. There's like a giant silo that's over in the corner. As you can see, it's going over all this information. Usually for this type of mission, you're going to want to usually pick something that is either very attack heavy or defense heavy, or just something that can get around the map pretty fast. Ultimately, best thing to do is look at what your team composition is and try to fill in the gaps where the gaps are. To be mindful, there is a pulse storm that goes on in this stage, so pay attention to this stuff over here, because it does kind of give you a heads up of what to expect and what to deal with. Your next map is the Corite Extractors, which is another data node type-esque map. It's the giant
nodes in the Corite sinkhole.
But it's a giant hole, and you know, you'll kind of like bounce around. It's a dogfighting type map.
The nodes triggers data retrieval.
You know, again,
complete data retrieval to
it lets you know what's going on here.
Seize and defend the three
as far as like, because there's usually some type of special thing that goes on. This is Inferno, aquatic adaptability, kind of let you know that Inferno is a little bit weaker here. All right, next one is Palm Bay Harbor, which is if I'm not mistaken, it's a pushing mission, the payload. With this one, again, team composition. Every time that you go into a game like this, you always got to look at what your team has and then try to fill in the holes that your team might have. So like say if you don't see any type of support, you might want to go support. If you don't see any heavy defensive type unit that you would, especially for these type of missions, you're going to want to have at least one heavy unit that's defensive that can sit on the point, because that is an easy way to move it along faster, as well as making sure that your team hits these different locations. There's 3 location points like this that it's talking about right here. There's one here, and one here. Once you hit those points, you kind of get a boost. If you don't hit it, you know, you'll move slower. Also be mindful that if any opponents sit on your payload, it will go in reverse. I've won many matches by just literally frame 1 when we get into that first little dogfight here, sitting on the enemy's payload and not letting it go anywhere. So be mindful of that. Next map, we're going to look at the Cape Blanc Observatory. This one is one of those ones where you got to deal with the Corite Extractors. I remember this quite well because I was using Alanese, and every time I would try to disable the Corite Extractor, everyone else would beat me to it because I'd be caught up in a fight somewhere, so I would never get a chance to finish those. You know, just another dogfight mission. Make sure that you are literally just based on what your team composition is. A lot of the time, this is a team composition thing. Look at what your teammates are using. If you have friends, know what your friends' weaknesses are, what their strengths are, what they use, and then try to play around that. I mean, that's just always a coordination type thing. If you're playing with randoms when you go into the game, just look at what they're dealing with, adjust accordingly. Next up, Graceland Sky City, the bane of my existence in this game. So when I say that, these are your PvP matches where it's a team-based fight.
Secure victory in 2.
I've said it in one of my previous videos. That was a short. We don't need 2 snipers in these matches because of the fact that it's just like everyone's going to be in your face trying to box it out. You're going to see a Stellars. You're going to see a Panther. You're going to see a Welkin. You're gonna need at least 1 support, maybe 2, depending on what your composition is. Stay with your teammates in these matches. I cannot stress that enough. Stay with your teammates, please, because most enemy teams are gonna be looking for that 1 solo person to go gang up on and beat the stuffing out of you. I would want to say other things, but you two might just get upset about that. All right, The next map that we're going to talk about is Babylon Sky Fortress, because this is, once again, another PvP map.
Secure victory
Again,
in 2 out of 3 rounds.
if you're not a good
enemy strikers
like sniper,
toward victory.
don't pick a sniper, because once you shoot that first shot and the other team sees it, especially if you're Narukami, you're probably going to get a Panther or Sellers to pull up on you and try to figure out what you're doing over there. If not, you're going to get an Aquila that's going to be trying to snipe you back, or a Falcon or a Sky Raider that's just like, oh yeah, let me get you out of your little cubby hole.
Leading squad at the end of the round.
If you're not a good sniper, don't be trying to snipe on like these PvP maps. Just get in their face, duke it out, doof them, rearrange them robotic guts. When you get that execution, you know, just do something. All right, please. Just don't be snipers if you're not a good sniper. Poseidon Army, this is that water stage that I kind of get annoyed of, because you're connecting, you're basically like kind of like a King of the Hill type situation. The data nodes, the middle one. So the thing about this is that the middle one goes underwater.
Through the node.
When it goes underwater, it's a pain to like kind of like fight there. As I always say, if you don't capture A,
data nodes.
if the other enemy team has like a Falcon, Aquila, a Sky Raider, they're most likely going to be out here on A, and if they got it first, they're going to have priority over that. Let them have it. Your goal should be to get the other two. Like that's one thing that I see often, especially in like all these type of like PvP games and stuff like that. People will like, oh, well, why don't we capture all 3 points? Like, it's easier to capture 2 points and defend them versus trying to capture all 3 points and then spreading your entire team around all 3 locations, and then you lose all 3 and then you're trying to fight to get them back. Get 2, stick with it, and rock out. The Long Man Lodge site, I believe, is another payload pushing one. And again, same thing as before. You want to get your defender, you want to get your support unit to stick with the defender that will sit on the point. Your teammates got to, you know, fight, get these locations, and then you get another attack or something that can sit on their payload. Like, you get somebody that can just sit on their payload, keep it from going anywhere. That is always going to be kind of like the general goal for when you're doing one of these types of missions, because of the fact it's just easy. Get somebody to sit on it, get somebody to defend them, get somebody to heal them, those 2 people. You get one person to hang back to try to like mess with their payload, and you got other people around just fighting, just so that we can get these locations as well to speed things up. And I do believe we are down to the last 2, which is Vigil Emblem, which that is another data terminal one. This one has a storm, which gets annoying. You kind of like rushing, get the keys, you rush it over to the point, upload it.
Approach a terminal.
Again,
a key.
Be mindful of the storm. The storm sucks. It messes everything up, and then you're kind of just sitting there confused because you can't really tell who's an enemy, who's on your team. Just do the thing. Get somebody fast, look at your team composition, get in there, get the key, run it over, upload it. Make sure you're just mindful of where their keys are at and where they're being uploaded. Stellar Observation is another Corite one.
Diffuse all.
You gotta go around
on the island,
just diffusing them and stuff. This is another fun map. Just straightforward. Composition. I'm gonna keep stressing this. Composition. Look at what your team has. Look for the gaps. Kind of fill in for that, and just, you know, assist your teammate. So that is generally all the maps until they decide to do an update and introduce some new maps and whatnot. I don't play Ace Arena too often because of the fact that that is strictly PvP. Now that you guys know about the different maps that are on Mecha Break, I want to see you guys perform good. I want to see you guys kill it out there. But don't use any of my tactics that I put in this video against me, because if you do, well, we're just going to have some issues, and I'm just going to have to think of new tactics, and I won't share it with you guys. But if you actually liked all this information, give me a like and subscribe, and I will hit you guys with more Mecha Break news, updates, advice, all the this, that, and the third, all right?